Using Craigslist in your job search. Many times when we do a job search, when we're looking for a job and we're saying, man, we really need to find work, we go to Indeed, we go to Monster, we go to a lot of these other different places, and we don't really ever find what we're after. And it's not a bad thing, really. It's just that a lot of the job searches kind of suck, and for other reasons, it just isn't that great. So today we're going to use Craigslist, and I'm going to walk you through and show you how you can incorporate Craigslist into your job search. So first of all, let's go out to Craigslist and see what we have here. And you kind of see, let's just start in a city. Let me just go to US cities here and see what we can find. I don't know, let's pick something. Let's go to Austin. I have not searched it, so I can't really tell you what I have here. But let's see what we can find. I'm hoping we actually find some jobs in Austin. You know, I know a lot of people are apprehensive about using Craigslist. You know, they kind of see it as kind of a scummy place to go. They see it as potentially exposing themselves to scams, you know, and that sort of thing. But really, honestly, over the years, Craigslist is one of the most underrated places and most underrated ways to actually find a job. I know lots of people who have found work on here. I know I have found work on here, and there certainly are opportunities that can be found. So let's take a look. If you don't know, if you've never been to Craigslist, they have this wonderful job section. It's very generic, and they have it broken down by industry, by type of work, that sort of thing. You know, you could choose each individual one that you want. You can choose a category, but for the most part, I mean, we don't really care about that. I mainly just want to kind of walk through the job. So let's take a look at what they have for all the jobs in the Austin area. So these are in Austin, Texas. And there are some things that you kind of want to watch out for when you're on Craigslist. You want to look for postings that, you know, you're kind of avoiding the scams. You're looking for something that definitely is real. A couple ways that you can figure out if something is a scam, if something is real or not real, is if it's posted in one location, if it's posted locally, meaning if you go to, you know, a nearby city, are you going to find the exact same posting? And that's actually a really good indicator for knowing whether the job posting is for real or not. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. I don't know, let's just kind of start at the top. We got cashier wanted. Well, whenever you look at these jobs on Craigslist, the first thing you need to figure out is this legit or not. I don't know what the hell these places are. I don't live in Austin, Texas, so maybe some people who are down there, maybe you know what this is. But you have, I don't know what this is. I have no idea. They need a cashier for this place. Just based off of how it reads, they don't have any bull crap. They don't have any weird links. They don't have any weird images. They don't have anything that gives you an indication that this is out of the ordinary. There's a good chance, I would say, that this is probably a legit opportunity. And so the second thing, the thing that you're going to want to do whenever you're on Craigslist, and really this kind of goes for a lot of other things as well, but you're going to want to make sure that you do a little research. So let's just do here, you know, just pull this open. And we can kind of calm down and we can see, okay, all right, looks like it's a legitimate, okay, looks like a restaurant of some sort. All right. So yeah, I mean, just based off of what we're seeing here, this would be a legitimate posting. This would be a legitimate posting on Craigslist. Now, just kind of understand that when it comes to job posting, and this is actually true, whether we're talking about Craigslist or Indeed or anything else, and maybe you've heard of me talk about it, maybe you haven't, but there are 4 different categories of job postings. Okay, 4. There are job postings that are phishing job postings. These are basically just situations where recruiters and employers, they put out a job posting hoping that they can get a lot of candidates to fill up their candidate pool. And that's really the only purpose for these job postings. There's no job, none. it's a big waste of time for a lot of people, but it's actually the majority of job postings that are out there on the internet. We have, you know, the scam postings. These are postings where they make you think it's something, but really they're just trying to get information. They're trying to, I guess it's another form of phishing. You know, they're just putting information out there, hoping that they can end up collecting your personal information so they can steal stuff from you. So that would be a scam posting. There are also blank job postings. These are situations where a corporation will just put postings everywhere online. This could be for advertising reasons. This could be that they're just saving their spot. It could be that the company they're posting with has a maximum number of postings, and so they just say, okay, well, let's fill it up with as many job postings as we can. And there are other situations where corporations are required to post jobs externally, and so they'll post them on job boards. But in reality, there's not really a job there, and it's intentional. They don't really plan on hiring anybody through that job posting. And then, of course, there are the real jobs, which I say probably is, you know, spanning across all job boards. Probably about 10%, maybe 10% of the job postings that are out there are real jobs. Now, one reason I do like using Craigslist for my job searches as a tool for job hunting is that most of the time when you find real job postings, or when you find the postings that are on Craigslist, there's a good chance the ratio of real job postings to fake job postings is much better than what you're going to find on an Indeed or a Monster. Okay, so let's kind of go through here. We have part-time personal assistant. Well, that sounds a little shady. Okay, pay range, 20 blah, offering a living space. All right, well, this one's a little on the shady side. Yeah, you might want to stay away from that. That looks a little weird. So, and there may actually be something behind that. Just based on how it writes, it looks very professionally written, but it doesn't look overly scammy. But at the same time, just the type of work is not very clear as to what they're going to be doing. So, you know, it looks like they're just going to be hanging out at the house. But, you know, honestly, that's a little odd. So maybe you might want to stay away from that. Nurse practitioner. It's very odd that you would have something like a nurse practitioner position posted on Craigslist. Now, there could be reasons for it. It could be that, I don't know, maybe the places that they're going to is not a real big company, but it's rather unusual. So, okay, Hill Family Medicine. Let's take a look at that. And so, again, anytime that you are doing something of this nature, you should always take a look. You know, kind of see what they have on their website. You know. Okay. The third step, whenever you do something like this, is that you might be looking at here. And if you reply, it will come up with contact information. So they only have an email that's optional. So they only have an email that's available. And you could definitely use that and copy that and send an email. That's probably most likely what you're going to be doing when you respond to that. But a lot of time, if you want to make sure and kind of double check that you're not getting scammed, if you feel pretty good that this is a real company, so you might just want to call and say, okay, we get a phone number from their website. We give them a call and say, hey, do you guys have a position opening for a nurse practitioner? And they will say, I don't know, yes, no, maybe. Or they might say, well, there's actually a scam out there that says we do, but we actually don't. Okay, so those are the three things you need to do. The first thing is when you're on Craigslist, figure out whether it's a scam or not. And you figure that out by just looking at the posting, seeing if it looks legit. You go to the website, and then you actually call the company directly to see if they actually do have a position open. Okay, so let's kind of keep looking. Whenever I see anything like this where they put in the dollar signs, they put in all this stuff to, you know, really try to grab your attention, it kind of makes me wonder if that's a legitimate position or not. Bounce house. Okay, that's a little weird. And actually, the positions they have listed here are not bad. And I will say, Craigslist, when job postings were free, had a lot of garbage on it. Had a lot of garbage. There was a lot of bull crap that was on Craigslist when job postings were free on Craigslist. But now, I think they were at $5, and some things have moved up to $25, that sort of thing. So Craigslist does charge. So I think that maybe it's helped filter out some of the garbage. But anytime you see this, you see we have multiple postings of the same thing over and over again. Man, I don't know. Maybe that's just, they're just really desperate, but, why are they posting the same thing over and over again? That's a little weird. You definitely want to look for things that are local. So if you're looking for a local opportunity, join our team, climbers needed. That might be a real business. It may not. But you definitely kind of want to look at that sort of thing. So again, whenever you're looking at job postings, you really want to make sure that, that you're trying to avoid anything that looks too scammy or too weird. Let's take a look at that one. So here's one, temporary administrative assistant, and they kind of go through, where it's at, duties listed. Okay. Did it have? All right. So then you would come in here, you get the company name. If, and I've seen some of these where they don't put the company name on. If they don't, I don't want to be too obvious, but if they don't put the company name on their Craigslist posting, definitely don't bother. So why is it important that we look at Craigslist? It's because a lot of the small companies don't want to pay the $600 or more to pay for postings per month on, the big job boards like Indeed and Monster. And so a lot of small companies will end up on Craigslist because it's less expensive, because it's cheaper. And so that benefits you, because the small companies are the ones that are more likely to appreciate you and more likely to work with you. They may not pay as much, but they certainly are great for gaining experience and for building your resume and for, doing things like that. So small companies are great. All right, so let's just kind of back this up a little bit. Let's see what we got. So if you're going after a specific area, and, when I was a web developer, I used to kind of come into this sort of section. Sometimes you would just kind of get to a point where you would figure out, okay, is this legit? Is it not? There's actually some pretty good things. Let's see what they got in here. And so some of these, you're just going to have to decide, is this a good fit for me? Is it not? Okay, so Austin, you're actually doing pretty well. Let's go to a different city and see what else we could find, okay? Maybe we could find something a little bit more interesting to look at. Let's go to... Yes. Okay, let's go to Chicago here. Okay, in Chicago, let's see what we have for jobs. Now, pretty commonly on Craigslist, you'll see things like this where you end up with, they need truck drivers, that sort of thing. It's extremely common to find a truck driving job on Craigslist. So if you're somebody who is in truck driving, they usually require a CDL, that sort of thing. Craigslist is definitely a place to go. There are a lot of truck driver recruiters that will just sit there, and this is about the only way they really have to connect with truck drivers to potentially recruit them. But when I see things like this, you see the little emoji, you see the icons, you see all the bull crap, it kind of makes you go, man, is there really something going on here? It makes it definitely a little sketchy. Though I do like it when you can see a phone number, when they're willing to put a phone number on the job posting. It's actually one of the better ways to connect with somebody who's on Craigslist is you just flat out call them. In that case, when you call them, you have to make a decision. Does this person sound legit? Does it sound like they're trying to be scammy? What does it feel like? All right, so let's just do an example. So let's come out here. Let's go to, I don't know, let's pick another city. Okay, so let's just do an example. Let's just say I'm in accounting. Now, obviously, if you're in accounting and you go on Craigslist to look for a job, it's probably not the place to go. So that's another concept of Craigslist. Craigslist is better for blue collar type work Not so great onto white collar, though. As we could see here, there's already some white collar stuff posted. So let's just do accounting just for fun. Let's see what they have in Chicago for accounting. Okay, just flat out accounting. And this is actually pretty common. You see $30 an hour. A lot of people who put job postings on Craigslist, in a lot of cases, don't really want to pay people a whole lot. But again, the goal is to get experience. The goal is to build skill, not so much on building your income, because you're just trying to get started. So here they'll look for somebody in part-time accounting. Okay, fully skilled in QuickBooks. So it's short. There's not a lot of garbage. They're not really wanting to waste people's time. They're not wanting to waste their own time. They're pretty clear about what it is that they want. This looks like a legit opportunity. And they just want an email. So this would be a situation to where they don't put the company name. So that's a little weird. But this would be a case where if you are in accounting, you're looking for a part-time opportunity, doing any sort of accounts payable, accounts receivable, that sort of thing. This might be worth looking, just doing a reply and responding to the email. So Chicago, actually, you're doing pretty well. A lot of open positions for accountants, bookkeepers. The pay rates are decent. They're within reason. Let's go to some other areas. Let's go over to Des Moines. So if we look at accounting finance here, okay. So again, we do have some great postings here. So it seems like Craigslist requiring companies to pay for job postings has actually been quite helpful. Now again, these are usually going to be smaller companies. This is a great opportunity for you to target a job that you want in the industry that you need, and just to build a skill, build the resume. Because again, those are the things that you need to do. Build skill and build your resume. Okay, so here's another component. I just did a little bit clicking around, and you definitely find these in some of the more interesting sections. So we're into customer service job postings, and we have college students, $15 an hour, cash paid daily. So that is a little interesting. So let's see what one for people, blah blah. That's a little weird. Now, they do provide a phone number. They do provide a name of the contact person, so that is good. This might be a great job at $15 an hour. There's probably a good chance that might actually be legit, but you definitely would want to watch out for something like that. And then we have, let's see, where did I see it? We have, hiring for free government phone program. Okay, well, anytime that you're talking about free or any sort of government program whatsoever, you should probably definitely stay away, because one, there's a good chance that you might work the job and then not get paid. Or I bet if we look, you see how they use all uppercase text here? That's a little iffy. And you can see this can really be copied and pasted about anywhere. Monterey, see, it's for a marketing company. So these are the types of jobs here that you definitely need to look out for and avoid. Is we have things like this where they just say they look like, some sort of study, some sort of thing. They're posting it everywhere, and it's just a little bit fishy, a little bit weird, and maybe it's legit, maybe it's not. It's hard to know. It's definitely not going to help you in your building your resume, building your career. You want a job that you can have to build yourself, to learn skills, and to really build the career that you're trying to have. Whether you know what your career is or you don't, something like this is not going to help. And there's a good chance you may not actually get paid. And it looks like the way they're advertising it is that they're going to compensate you up to $6,000. You're thinking, woohoo, whatever I do, I'm going to get $6,000. And that's just not true. So there's something definitely really kind of sketchy with that. You definitely want to avoid those sorts of things. Okay, let's bounce over to Lawrence. And I think you kind of get the point. Whenever you're looking at these, you really kind of have to just make sure that you're you're finding a legit company. It's a little bit odd when you see things like this. Printing press operator. I see these a ton in a lot of different places. Okay, that one's in Story City. Where's this one at? Oh, that one's also in Story City. So that's a little odd. So I will say I have been on Craigslist for many years, and I've been a proponent of Craigslist jobs for many years. I have never seen such a strong listing of jobs on this website, which it's just another indicator that we're in a recession, and a lot of these companies are doing whatever they can to survive, and they just really don't want to spend money on the big job boards. The next thing, if you were looking for a job on Craigslist, there are people who post resumes on Craigslist. And yes, I know there's a lot of really iffy stuff on Craigslist, especially in the resume section. But if you want to post and feel comfortable posting your resume on Craigslist, let's just go through a couple tips that you should maybe take in consideration. So let's jump to Oklahoma City. So we have the different jobs here. And if you go down below, we have the different gigs. And and we go to the resumes, and you get this. And you get people who, in theory, it looks like that they are people legitimately who need a job of some sort. And you get some of these people who just, they'll just post about anything. They just say helper. If you're looking for somebody, I'll help. And there's some of these others where, maybe you're not so sure if you should click on it or not. But there are a couple of things that you really should look at. So let's just take the first one, finance student looking for any job. Okay, so let's take a look, see what they say. I've experience in retail, operations management, hospitality management, and warehouse. I've managed teams, 520 people, looking for anything this summer. They're currently working on a finance degree. They're anticipating graduating in 2025. Okay. They're in the accounting club, treasurer. So they got a lot of crap on here. And this actually looks, on one part, looks actually pretty good. This looks like a legitimate person who is legitimately looking for a job. But there are a couple things I want you to take in consideration when you post on these job boards. Don't ever put your name on here. Don't put your address. Don't put your phone number. Just go through the email. Just let the email work. You're not really in a situation to where you want a bunch of spam calls all the time, because honestly, you just kind of never really know what you're going to get. So we look through here. They do a couple things right. They say that they're a finance student looking for a job. That's a good job title. That tells me right away that they are looking for a finance job and that they are a student. So I know right away I'm not going to get anybody experienced. So if I'm looking and able to hire somebody that's inexperienced, I'll actually potentially look at this person. They put a lot of things on here as far as like leadership and in what fraternity or sorority that they are in. I'm not really sure what that is. They're in the investment club. It looks like they're definitely dedicated to being in finance. So this one's not bad. But anytime you do a resume, anytime you do any sort of posting online or anything like that, and I know it's very easy to fail at this, is that we have these people that says experience in retail, operations management. They have all this crap. I don't care. If I'm looking to hire somebody, I don't give a rat's ass about all this stuff. I don't want to know all the different things you want to do. I only want to know what your finance, accounting, anything that has to do with that sort of thing. I just want to know what your finance experience is. Okay, so let's go on the other end of the spectrum. We have in search of employment. I have not looked at this. Let's see what they say. In search of employment. Okay, I don't know what that means. They want employment. What does that mean? Does that mean they're going to mow my lawn? Does it mean that they're going to, they're going to, I don't know, edit my videos? What the hell does in search of employment mean? And as somebody who does hire people, I don't know if this person is at all of value or not because of their heading. So make sure that your heading is clear as to what you are after. So that's the first thing. So let's read. Oh, okay. So can do physical labor, have experience in fast food as well as dishing and small amount of construction experience. If interested, contact me. Kind of desperate. Yeah, I could tell you're desperate. You got one sentence and you're attempting to hope that you're hoping and praying that somebody responds. And maybe they do. But they're hoping that if they throw enough crap at the wall, that somebody's going to say, oh, well, oh, yeah, we definitely need that. Here's what I need from this person. I need a good title that tells me exactly what their situation is. So they could say, searching for physical labor job can start right away. And so when you put the time component in there, it helps somebody understand that you're available immediately. And that could be, and that's actually a better way than just saying, I'm desperate, I need a job right now. You know, it's much better to say available to start immediately. And so when you do this and you have your little resume online, you need to reiterate, I am looking for a physical labor position. And then you list 3 experiences that you have right after that. You know, so this person could say something like, and you don't want to be general. You want to be as specific as possible. You could say something like, I've hung drywall, I mow lawns, and I have done roofing. So you want to make sure that you include 3 specific things that enhance, that support the fact that you want to do physical labor. So you can say things like, I don't know, you've done drywall, you've done roofing, maybe do car mechanic, moved furniture. You want to put any sort of specific task that you have done that supports the thing that you're trying to get hired for. And so when we look and we say, oh, they've done fast food. Okay, so are they looking for a fast food job? I know, I understand. They're saying, I will do anything, even fast food. Well, go apply for a fast food job then. But when you put this text in the posting, it makes me go, okay, well, maybe they want to do fast food. And then they say they've done a small amount of construction. Okay, well, do they want to do construction? And so what happens when you're too broad is that you shoot yourself in the foot. And so since you are not specific enough about what it is that you're after, nobody knows what you want. And so this person needs to say, I'm looking to do a construction job. I have experience doing roofing, tiling, and drywall. And just put that in there and somebody will hire you to do construction. But in all honesty, what this resume says here is that all this person is willing to do is they're hoping that somebody can teach them, train them. It's just willing to take them in. Okay, let's take a look at another one. See if we can find another one. General labor. Okay, what kind of job does this person want? They want general labor. What kind of general labor? I don't know. I could consider maybe, I don't know, does general labor mean they are just willing to do about anything? I mean, I that's definitely what they mean, but that doesn't help me if I'm wanting to hire them. If I'm looking through this, I'm going to have to click and open this and figure out what it is that they're willing to do. Willing to do yard work, help with just about anything, moving things, cleaning up property. If you're not sure if I'll do it, just ask. I prefer to message, so feel free to text the number provided in the email. So they say they want to do general labor. And yes, I understand they're going again for the crap on the wall approach. But again, I don't know specifically what kind of general labor they're after. Now, based off of this, they're willing to do anything. Okay, that's understandable. I get it. But if you're going to do this and you do it for real, you mention one of the things that you want to do. So you'll say yard work. I have experience running lawnmowers, running trimmers, and landscaping. Okay, let's take a look and see what we can find. Okay, so we have tree trimming. So, okay, that gives me an idea. If I click on this, this person is going to talk about tree trimming. Okay, let's take a look. Professional tree trimmer, extremely reasonable priced. So they don't waste any time. They don't waste my time. They don't waste their time. Please contact for estimates. So I know if I contact this person, it's going to be all about tree trimming. All right, see what they have on the contact info. And so even something like this where they say, I do house cleaning. Okay, well, all right. So that pretty much narrows it down. They do house cleaning. So I think that pretty well takes care of it. So that is okay. Looking for a job in Oklahoma City area. Okay, let's take a look, see what this person says. Hello, looking for work, and preferably the Mustang Yukon, Oklahoma City area. 15 years of experience manufacturing, 9 years, and okay. So again, this is the biggest sticking point that most people screw up on, and they screw up on all the time. That you need to be specific about what job or what type of work you're after, and then demonstrate that you're capable of doing it through experiences, through education, whatever it may be. There is a chance people will hire you in this crap on the wall strategy, but it's not guaranteed and it doesn't work very well. But people do it because it's easy, it's convenient. They think, oh, if I can do 1,000 different things, that means anybody looking for one of those 1,000 things will be happy to hire me. But that's not how this works. It's just not how it works. And again, it works for some people a little bit, but working is really stretching. So let's see this. Looking for work. Full-time. Okay, I'm seeking full-time employment. Need a job ASAP. So again, they go, okay, they have experience in remodeling, construction, some heavy equipment. But honestly, I will take mostly anything. Right now, I'm 29, valid driver's license. Okay, so this is actually quite helpful. But just how this person needs to restructure this a little bit. When they say looking for work, they need to say something, like, they might say looking for construction or remodeling work, and right there in the title, and then say you have experience doing these things. So this person did it pretty well. They did all this correctly. They provide a good contact info, I assume. And so they did everything right for the most part, except they just need to make sure it just says looking for work. It's not specific enough. I don't know exactly what kind of work they're looking for. Need a job or a remote job. So what kind of position is this? Okay, let's see what they got. Okay, we got a nice picture of this fella. Customer service and food, 2 years experience in data entry, configuration, very tech savvy. Okay, so this person, I can already tell you their future. They're going to get a job where they are working. It's going to be, something very bland, something that many people can get. It's going to pay about $35,000, maybe $40,000 a year. And this person say, well, I'm very tech savvy, but no one's going to pay you for tech because you're not saying you're after tech. So whenever you do the resume online, you need to have a strong title. So it needs to be something that's specific enough that somebody knows what it is that you're after. Within the posting itself for the resume, you don't need to do the full resume. However, you could just do something as simple like you just post as your resume. You say, I am looking to work for a blank, or I'm looking to work as I am looking for blank type of job. So you kind of put it in that context as to this is what it is that I'm looking for. And then you put the points that support it. So maybe you have 10 years of experience. Maybe you have an education. Maybe you have, it doesn't even matter what the experience is. So for example, if I put in the header saying I want to work for a car mechanic, and you say that, and then you say, okay, yeah, I have 6 months working for Joe's repair shop. I repaired brakes for my neighbor down the road, and I regularly change my own oil. Well, that gives me an idea of what kind of experience you have and makes it more likely for somebody to reach out and contact you. So the last section to take in consideration is a lot of people will go into the gig section hoping that they can find something in there. There's usually a lot of garbage, and it's very difficult to sift through and know what's real and what's not. The point of building a career, the point of getting the jobs, is so that you can build the skills that you need in order to advance your career. And if you're going to the gig section and you're just kind of looking to get an opportunity to make a few dollars, it's not really going to be worth your time in the long run. So I generally stay away from the gig section, though, you can do what you want. Me personally, I'm going to avoid it. So again, with Craigslist, as part of your job search, make sure you incorporate Craigslist, the job section, into your search. Because again, the jobs on Craigslist may seem a little weird and may seem a little sketchy in comparison to some of the bigger job boards. There are real opportunities and can really pay huge dividends for your career. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm 𝐸𝐵. This is jobferno. If you have any questions, send me an email at questions@jobferno.com. And as always, choose skills over money.